Hello students, in this video I am going to show you how to sketch quadratic functions. I will make another video in which I will show you how to sketch quadratic functions but using completing square method. So let us go to the basics. First of all, you should know that the graphs of the equations, quadratic equations, y is equals to ax square plus bx plus c, have a special name. We call them parabola. The name of the graphs are parabola. The shape is called parabola. Now I will show you 3 steps in which you can sketch the graph. The first step is to find the nature of the graph. By nature of the graph, I mean to say whether the graph opens upward or whether the graph opens downward, whether it is a U-shaped or an N-shaped. Remember, the coefficient of x square tells us whether the graph will open upward or downward. If you see that the coefficient of x square is positive, like positive 2x square or just x square, that means the graph will open upward. And if the coefficient of x square is negative, that means the graph will open downward. Say for example negative 3x square or just negative x square, the graph will open downward or it will be N-shaped. You can also remember it this way: when it is positive, it is happy face; when it is negative, it is sad face. Secondly, once we have decided about the nature of the graph, we find out what are the x and the y intercepts. That means where the graph crosses the x-axis and the y-axis. Then next what we do is we find out where the vertex of the graph is. What is a vertex of a graph of the parabola? The vertex is either this point, the minimum point, or the maximum point. That means the turning points of the graph. Now if we find out all these 3 things, it becomes very simple to draw the graph. Why? Say I know that the graph crosses the x-axis at this place and this place, and if it is say, let us take this one, it opens upward. So definitely if it opens upward like this, the vertex will be somewhere down. And say we have found out where the vertex lies, say it is here, and say if we have found out the y-intercept also, so we know the y-intercept say is somewhere here. Then you can see it becomes simple to sketch the graph. You can join the dots and you can simply sketch the graph. Right? Now we will see some examples. Now when I say sketch the graph of y is equals to x square minus 4x plus 3. So since it is a positive x square, if I remind you again, the nature positive means it opens upward. So if it is positive x square, that means the first step is done. We have identified that the graph opens upward like this. It should be a U-shaped curve, right? Second is to find the x and the y intercepts, right? So to find the x-intercept, that means where the graph crosses the x-axis, I should put y equals to 0. So if I put y is equals to 0, that means I should put this as 0. So x square minus 4x plus 3 should be equal to how much? Should be equal to 0. So if I factorize, x minus 3, x minus 1 will be 0, which will give me either x as 3 or x as 1. That means these are the 2 points where the graph crosses the x-axis. Next, I need to find the y-intercept. That means where the graph crosses the y-axis. So wherever the graph will cross the y-axis, the x-coordinate will be 0. So in the equation, I am going to substitute x as 0. So when x is 0, y will be 0 square minus 4 times 0 plus 3, which will obviously the constant. So remember, you don't need to even calculate the c value. The constant value will be the y-intercept. So I have found out the two x-intercepts and I have also found out the y-intercept. Now, what was the third step? The third step was to find the vertex, isn't it? So how do we find the vertex? To find the vertex, what I will do to find the x coordinate of the vertex, I will add these two x coordinates and I will divide it by 2, since it will be, the vertex will be midway between the two x-intercepts. So that will be 2. And to find the y-coordinate of the vertex, I will simply put x as 2 in the given equation. So that will be 2 square minus 4 times 2 plus 3, which will be 4 minus 8 is negative 4 plus 3 will be negative 1. That means the vertex will have coordinates 2 comma negative 1. So now I have all the informations. I have the information that the graph opens upward. I have the information that the x-intercepts are 1 and 3. The y-intercept is 3 and the vertex is at 2 comma negative 1. So let us try to plot the points. They need not be accurate because in sketch you don't need to be accurate, and approximate values will do. So say this is 1 and this is 3, and we know the vertex is at 2 comma negative 1. So 2 will be somewhere over here and the negative 1 will be somewhere here. So our vertex will be at this point, right? And this will be x is equals to 2 will also be our line of symmetry, since the parabolas are symmetrical about the axis. And what about the y coordinate? The y coordinate is 3. So 3 will be maybe somewhere over here, right? Now I have the vertex at 2 comma negative 1. I have the x intercepts at 1 and 3 and I have the y intercept at 3. So let us now try to join the dots and try to sketch a nice curve, right? And this side will look something like this, right? So this becomes our sketch for the graph y is equals to x square minus 4x plus 3. This line is called the axis of symmetry. And what is the equation of this line? It will be, since it is passing through x is equals to 2, its equation will be x equals to 2. I hope this example is clear. Let us go to the next example. Now, in this equation, I need to arrange the equation first. Let us first write the x squared term, then the x term, and then the constant term. Notice that the x squared term is negative. So if I remind you again, when it is negative, it is sad face. That means the curve opens downwards. So we have understood that, just a minute, the curve will open downward like this, isn't it? Then I need to find the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts, right? So if you remember, to find the x-intercepts, we will put y as 0. So if I put y as 0, that means negative x square minus 6x plus 7 should be equal to 0. This time I'll take the help of the calculator to find the roots. Say I put A as -1, right? Then B is -6, -6, and C is 7. So C is 7. So my roots are 1 and -7. So I get x is 1 and x is -7. So these are the two values of x, right? These are the two values where, these are the 2 points of intersection with the x-axis. To find the y-intercept, let us take x as 0. So if I take x as 0, I already have told you in the previous example, I will get the constant y is equals to 7. So this is the y-intercept. Then the last step was what? To find the vertex, isn't it? How do we find the vertex? To find the vertex, I should add both the x coordinates together, isn't it? So the x coordinate of the vertex will be 1 plus -7 divided by 2, which will be -6 by 2 will be -3. And if I put this -3 in the equation, in the given equation, I will get the y coordinate. So that will be 7 minus 6 times -3 minus -3 square, which will be 7 plus 18 minus 9, which will be 9 plus 7 is 16. So that means the vertex is, the x coordinate is -3 and the y coordinate is 16. So again, now I have all the informations. I know the graph opens downward. I know the x intercepts are 1 and -7, and the y intercept is 7, and the vertex is -316. I have already graduated the axis so that I can save some time. Now x coordinates, x intercepts were 1 and -7. So 1 is this point. -7 will be this point. This is -7. And y-axis is 7. The y-intercept is 7. So if this is 2, this will be 4, this will be 6. 7 will be somewhere here. Right? Somewhere here. 7. And the vertex is at -3, 16. So -3 means this point. So the axis of symmetry will be x is equals to -3. It will lie on this line. And the y coordinate is 16. So this is 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I can say the vertex will be somewhere here. That means -3, 16. Now I have all the points. Let us try to join the dots. I hope it comes out well, because I don't have a pencil, so I won't be able to erase it. Something like this. You can draw a better sketch. I hope you have understood. Now this is the axis of symmetry, and the equation of the axis of symmetry is x is equals to -3. I hope you have understood this part. Thank you.